Hey, welcome everybody to Holly Heroes. Hey, we've got this exciting new video series that we're going to launch just because it's Christmas time, and I have my ugly Batman Christmas sweater on. We have our Hallmark tree, but what we're going to be doing over the next 2 weeks between now and Christmas is we're going to do a series of 7 videos, and it's going to be different decades on toys of Christmas past. So we're doing the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So this is our first video. We're going to talk about the first superhero toys from the 1940s. And of course, Superman was first. And so the Superman wooden doll, this was done by Ideal Toys in 1939. So again, this isn't 1940, but we want to make sure we mention the first superhero toy. So this is the first superhero toy, the Ideal Superman doll from 1939. Really cool toy. What's interesting about this is if you look at the face, he looks like George Reeves, the Superman from the 1950s, but this came out in 1939, which is really awesome. My favorite thing as a kid was getting comic books as stocking stuffers, and so a lot of you probably remember that, getting comics as stocking stuffers. So each of these videos, we're going to do some of the comic books from those decades as well. Our second Superman toy is one of the coolest toys probably ever. This is the Superman Krypton ray gun from 1940, and it was done by the Daisy BB Gun Factory, and they made this in 1940, so this is like the second Superman toy. But it's really cool. If you look at the gun, it's got Superman embossed in the metal. There's a light bulb inside of the gun, and you see these cartoon film strips, and you would put the film strips in the gun, and you would shoot the cartoons on the wall, which is pretty cool. For 1940, this is an amazing toy. But it's just so cool. We have one here. It's mint box, never been used. It's fantastic. The next Superman toy is, they did a lot of tin toys in the 1940s. So this is the one, the wind-up Superman, where he's, you wind him up and he lifts the airplane, which is really cool. But this is like a really cool tin toy. The Superman airplane tin toy, that's a real highly desirable by collectors, but it's very cool. Other thing that was real popular was the dime banks that came out in the 1940s. So Superman and Captain Marvel, we have both of those here. You'd put your dimes in here, and then when you hit $5, it would be full. So these are really cool. They're real nice examples of the old dime banks. And then, of course, we've got Captain Marvel. This came out in 1946. This is the Captain Marvel figure set, and we actually have one of the original boxes along with the Captain Marvel figure. This was actually given to us by Jordan Hembrough from Toy Hunter. So we were on season 3. This was the toy that he brought to us. We did already have the Captain Marvel Jr. and the Mary Marvel of the set. We do not have Hoppy the Marvel Bunny. He was also part of this set, but we do not have that. So we would love to have that to complete the set. And of course, we have some Captain Marvel comic books from the 1940s as well. So yeah, in fact, there was only Superman, Captain Marvel. Those are the only comic book characters that had toys done on them in the 1940s. So that's why we have these as examples. But yeah, this is, if you were a kid in the 1940s, talk to your grandparents, ask them if they recognize any of these or had any of these cool toys as a kid. And check back in the next day or two, and you can see our next video on toys in the 1950s.